O'Neill from the KMET Weather Center. For the Beaumont and the Banning area for the daytime hours, there'll be sunny skies. Those highs are expected in the lower 70s. For the daytime hours in the IE area, sunny skies are in abundance, highs upper 70s. And for the daytime in the Coachella Valley, there'll be sunshine in the afternoon. Highs are expected in the 80s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk,
Jesse,
1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Good to have each and every one of you with us. We got lots of things going on in the world. What's going on in your neck of the woods is what we want to know about. A big list out as far as entertainment goes. And if you are wondering who's going to win this year when it comes to entertainment, well, you can check that out with Jesse Sanchez, who actually loves entertainment so much. He wants, I think, a few of his movies to probably win. I will say the one that I love to watch always is the MTV Movie Awards because they usually get it right. I always wonder if there's going to be like a People Choice Awards like from People Magazine or something that all of us agree on. So let us know your thoughts this year of the movies that you've seen and that you recommend should win. Obviously, a lot of actors, a lot of actresses always get nominated around this time of the year, and so that means, of course, pretty soon award season is starting up pretty quick. Jesse Sanchez, what's going on over there?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm just looking at the list for the Best Picture for the Oscar nomination to see if I've seen any of these movies. And I can honestly say I've actually seen two of them. So, oh no, I've seen three. So I'm not too far gone.
Well, that's good because usually, like, I think, well, does anybody remember last year's Oscar at all? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, did we do this last year? And we were like, yeah, we didn't see any of these.
We did it. Yeah, we didn't see any of the nominees, and I didn't get a chance to actually watch the Oscars because it just was like, I mean, again, we're 2022, so 2021, the beginning, we had so much of coronavirus going on. Everybody was doing like weird like shows, and that's right, they didn't have a real audience, right? Because they couldn't. And they did it all. I don't know if they had recorded it prior to, but they kind of mashed it up, and it really, it was one of the years that I thought, okay, if you should have done anything, you should have streamed it online as well. You should not just keep it on a network television broadcast. They're much more advanced than that. I mean, we had it to the point where even Major League games were being broadcast like on Facebook for a while there. Usually like the least attended games, like, you know, daytime games. Remember that? And they were testing that. I think they need to bring that back because everybody's online. You know what I mean? Everybody is online. So I think, if anything, they should just have a hybrid situation where they keep it on the television, of course, network that they're doing, but then go ahead and restream it onto their own Facebook channel. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. I mean, you think of YouTube Live and all of those. I don't know how many. Do you have YouTube TV, Jesse?
No, my mom and brother do though.
Okay. I had it for a bit. I tried it for like 30, 40 days. I don't really remember. And then I canceled it. But either way, it's still streaming, right? It's still data. So make sure you have good data. Make sure you have a good, device if you have that, and then you'll be fine. Big shout out to those tuning in. Mark Blevins says, good morning in disguise today. I love that. Prachob Rotendar. I'm going to call you Prachob. Thank you for tuning in. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious, snowy, cold, awesomeness, busy day ahead for today. I'm tuning in from Ohio. If you're tuning in, just let us know where you're tuning in from. Joanne Cobb is tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and do something here. I'm just going to go ahead and share it on my wall. So if you guys share, and then just let us know, and then just go live now, and I share it on my Facebook. We're also on Twitter. You can do that as well. All you have to do is just find us. It's Aaron M. Sanchez if you're on Twitter, and then retweet. We're also streaming on YouTube live and Twitter as YouTube, LinkedIn, Alexa. Don't forget, just tune in to all of our great programming throughout the day, which we have a lot of it, right, Jesse?
What programming today? Well, usually we have programming every day. So,
Jesse knows he's the one that makes sure everybody stays on the air. So there you go. All right. So a lot of interesting things happening around the world. But here's something that some people are concerned about, and it is where everything is going in the next, like, I don't know, 3 days to a week, especially internationally. For those checking out the Ukraine situation, it's a very minute by minute. Um, I don't know what you would call it, except be on the watch. These next 3 to 4 days are going to be very telling. Hopefully, Russia backs down. Hopefully, Russia just says, you know what, we're good. We're just going to leave you guys alone because we got our own problems right now. I don't know if you saw, but Russia has a huge volcano that just erupted as well. So we're about 50, I want to say 53 volcanoes currently active around the world. Um, so we're just not at the point where I think war is the best thing right now. You know, it's like take care of your area, take care of things that are going to happen, and then just be okay with just saying, I'm going to step away and make sure our family's safe from coronavirus. We have 4 new variants of the That's the latest news. I just don't think we're there to the point where we need war right now. But again, watch it very closely. Those of you that do look at world news, we don't always look at world news. Sometimes we mention it, then we kind of move off of it, and then people throughout the day kind of might talk to me about it. But a lot of people don't. But if you watch local news, and what I always like to do is look at world news, right? Because everybody could kind of slam a news agency that's local. But if you do world news, then you'll understand where we are in all of it, okay? Did you have a question there, Jesse, or a statement?
no, you're right. When you start clicking on world news, you're just like, whoa, I didn't even hear about this. I'm looking at the Canada truckers protest.
Yeah, I looked at that too. I have a friend up north, or she was in the area, and I'm like, and I could tell it was going really bad. And I sent her a message. I said, "Can you please just make sure you're safe over there?" She's a writer and filmmaker, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm always safe." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't get it. Like it's gonna go bad." And so there they are right now, right on the border of Canada. This is the latest. 130,000 Russian troops are outside Ukraine. Um, the question is it going to be a diplomatic resolve? The answer, that will depend on what happens in the next few days. If Putin actually says, yeah, I'm good with this, whatever we come up with from this, we'll pull out, I think Ukraine will be better for it, and we won't be into the beginning of World War III. Having said that, if he gets pushed in a way, he may advance. But I hope he doesn't. I hope we don't have to talk about war the next coming months. I hope, if anything, we just talk normal. I'm actually okay with just talking normal. Well, everything that's going to happen anyway, because our financials are off. People are not making as much money as they thought they would. People have quit their jobs. I don't know why, during coronavirus. Even those truckers, it's kind of like, why are they? It's almost like the mentality of the way it was here for a bit, but now they are so, I don't know how to put it. It's like, why are we, unless I'm missing something on the trucker situation. I really, can you add some perspective there, Jesse, about the trucker situation?
Yeah, I really don't know too much. Just the fact that Trudeau doesn't think too much of it. But I'm just like, oh
Well,
my, it. Usually, you don't want to make truckers mad, so I don't understand what's going on.
yeah, I know. Michigan closed their bridge to Canada, that's here in the U.S., because of the protests, and these are trucker-led protests. It's against the COVID vaccine mandates, which I understand that. I understand, and I've said this. I've said this since mid last year. I said you cannot mandate a vaccine over everyone.
Oh, so this is about vaccine mandates.
Yeah, I thought it was mass mandates. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so yeah, this is Yeah, I'm against vaccine mandates for one specific reason. I'm not a fan of the government telling me what to do and what to do with my body and stuff like that because if I look at U.S. history, yeah, we're not the best records on that stuff. Not the best at all.
Yeah, and look, I like to bring balance to the obvious like extreme path of it all, right? And I've said it. I always use my family as an example. Okay, my mom got coronavirus never because she maintained safety protocols, right? She wears a mask when she needs to. When she goes out, I remind her, do this, do that, do this. Don't play into it's not here. It feels good. It's summer, blah, 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 right? I've maintained her to be very safe because she's a at-risk already person, which, has diabetes. And then, of course, that's not good for everyone, right, if she gets sick. But thankfully, she hasn't been sick. But I did research on the vaccines that did come out. And out of the research that I valued Johnson Johnson at the time. And this was after that whole little which it was little. It was like I think anywhere from 18 to 25 had the what was it? The side effect of the blood clots, right? And but it was so minute. Okay. Moderna in the next 3 to 4 months are going to have all kinds of issues with the first dosages, right? Pfizer, they're still going to have problems as well. Again, anytime you have a vaccine, you're always going to have problems. I'll give you an example. Her dog, known as Zuki, formerly known as Zeus, I like that name so much better. He just got a flu shot, right? I think that's a little late in the game to get a flu shot, but he got a flu shot and he has diarrhea now. And I said, that's a side effect, right, for a dog. And she's like, well, he's supposed to get a second one. I don't trust that he should get the second one. And I go with that because some animals just don't do well. Biology just doesn't do well in all things. Now, back to the vaccine. The different levels of vaccine around the world, if you go from here to Europe, Jesse, it's almost a given you're going to need to get the one there because there's different variants there. And it's almost a given that if you come from overseas to here, you're going to need to get one in the event that you get sick here. Does that make sense? Because we all have different variants, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Now, mandating it or making it a permanent thing like with law, I said wouldn't hold up, and Supreme Court actually upheld that. You cannot mandate it as a term of employment, which is why Starbucks kind of backpedaled and says, you know what, it's okay, we're not going to mandate that of our employees anymore. So mandating makes it almost like, back to what you're saying, control of another kind, which is, well, did you guys do the science enough to see how this is going to affect my body in the long term, right? There's a lot of young ones that are going to get the vaccine. Well, if they get the wrong dosage and it's too high, that could create a problem for the body, right? And that's due to the people implementing it. Now, having said that, there's been news reports that I've been looking at, even from Kaiser, that said that they were under, with adults at least, under injecting people with the vaccine, not giving them the full dosage, more like a third of the dosage, because they were conserving. Well, that is not going to be very effective in an adult body. Maybe to a young child, yes, but not to an adult body. So if you don't have the proper dosage in your body, it's like saying, okay, I've got pain, I take ibuprofen, but you're like, how come I'm still feeling pain? Well, you only took, basically, 150 milligrams of the 800 prescribed. You know what I mean? So that's what people are having to deal with. So mandating of vaccines never works because it is a no option situation. You have to give people an option. Now, having said that, recently there was a man that everybody's been talking about that Fox actually had on their station, which was an officer, and he actually got kind of canned because he was so against vaccines. Well, he's now dead because of coronavirus. So there is a and here's the thing, and I hate to, because I see sometimes the news articles kind of skewed in some way to where like, well, they weren't vaccinated. And I always go, anyone and everyone, whether you have a vaccine or not, will get coronavirus at some point. Whether they get well from it is one thing. Whether they pass it on to someone else is another. We have so many variants of it. you could think of like 20 different variants of coronavirus. It's not just COVID-19, right? You got Alpha, you got Lambda, you got you got Mu, you've got all of these variants. You got Delta Plus, which is like the B to the A of Delta. You've got now which you got now 4 of them, which I don't do the decimal system because it's confusing as all get out. But back to the protesters. The ones in Canada, says here, an ongoing trucker-led protest against vaccine mandates and other pandemic-related restrictions in Canada spilled over into the United States via the Ambassador Bridge on last night, blocking access to one of the world's largest international suspension bridges. The protesters hindered traffic at the toll bridge across the Detroit River, which connects Windsor, Canada, with Detroit, Michigan, at the Canadian-U.S. border. The Michigan Department of Transportation announced via Twitter that it had closed the crossing to Canada. Now, the Windsor Police Service said this morning that the bridge has reopened to U.S.-bound traffic, but they tweeted an update saying the crossing remains closed on the U.S. side. Monday marked the 11th straight day of the Freedom Convoy protest, which began with truckers critical of a new rule that they must be vaccinated against COVID to cross the Canada-U.S. border. The demonstrations have grown into broader challenges to pandemic-related public health measures in opposition to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, I will say this. In travel, we do demand, up to a point, if you come here from another country, you're supposed to be tested, right, Jesse? Like, we all know this, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I get going back and forth between countries. I understand it, yet I understand they have a choice. They've occupied the streets of Ottawa and other cities across Canada in support of the movement, paralyzing the center with traffic jams, nonstop noise, and alleged harassment. Protesters said they will not leave until vaccine mandates and restrictions are lifted nationwide. They're calling for the removal of Trudeau's government. Well, it's not Trudeau's government. He's just, one of the guys. It's like saying, oh, Biden's government or something. Trump's government. I could hear Trump going, it's my government. Even though most of the public health measures were put in place by provincial governments. The House of Commons of Canada held an emergency session to discuss the demonstrations. In an opening statement, the Prime Minister said he understands people are tired of COVID, but that protests are not the answer. And he's actually right about that. Trucking, the industry, does not need to suffer in this way. They need to get back to work. Okay, they're doing it over the wrong thing. Trudeau said to lawmakers, these pandemic restrictions are not forever. But again, I will say this, don't mandate it and you'll be fine. It's as simple as that. Just say, look, these are the things that we have in order to help you out so you don't get sick, you don't regret it, and you don't have problems down the line for you and or your family. But if you do not want to, then we understand. But what's coming next is a mandated, lockdown. Does that make sense? Because now if everybody gets sick, well, what's the next optional thing? So it's like, which one do you guys want? It's not that coronavirus is unreal. It's very real. So you have to say, how do I keep the majority safe? Right? So I go ahead.
I got No, I got you. It's true. It's just like you want to be safe. I don't talk about government-wise. You want everyone to be safe and like take the vaccine, but you can't force people to take it.
You can't.
And it's just because that's a slippery slope. Because if the government forces something, then it's pretty much what are they going to force next, and then what are they going to force next, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, and again, it's only good for honestly anywhere, and we keep saying it, but nobody listens. 4 to 6 months. So which one did you get? Did you get it 6 months ago? Is it still in your body? Are you still going to be able to fight the coronavirus or not? That's what people are not understanding. That's what's coming up, in the next couple of months. If you got the fall or the second, I'll call it the second phase, which we had the spring of last year. That was the first amount of ones. You had an option, thank God. It wasn't just one, thank God. And there's ones around the world that are different options, thank God, right? Some are more put together than others, but human biology is different with everyone. So there's going to be things coming out. We're already seeing it. They're trying to come out with studies about fertility in men and or women because of the shot. And some are saying, oh, no, it's okay, fertility. Yeah, it's a thing, Jesse. We're going to see in the next few months that sperm cell count is going to drop significantly, And also, women's fertility of eggs are going to drop significantly in probably the next 3 months, based on early findings. But if you see studies saying the opposite, just beware. Anybody can and is bought in the industry. So like I say, do your research, okay? That's why these mandates are going to hurt those that are mandating it, because then they're going to see something for what it is. And then those that don't want the vaccines are going to say, you see, now I can't have kids. And that'll be the next phase of problems. But as I say, better to be alive, not have kids. Worst case scenario, if you got the Moderna. Yeah, watch for that one coming out. I guarantee it. Anyway, all right, we're going to take a quick little break. Remember, my opinions are only mine of myself, and that's my recommendation. Just be careful out there. Make sure you know which one you take, if you do take. And remember, we're trying to fight this thing as it comes in, so we're trying to stay alive through it all. If you've buried friends in their family and you don't want to get other people sick, make an educated decision. That's all I've got to say about that. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your number one source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com, because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
Together We Are Strong is a product brand which stands for unity, equality, and protecting voting rights. Shop now at togetherwearestrong.com for t-shirts, hats, and coffee mugs. All voting rights profits are donated to Rock the Vote, an organization on a mission to empowering young voters. Become an activist without saying a word. TogetherWeAreStrong.com. Make a difference in America and the world. Shop online at TogetherWeAreStrong.com. Give the gift that helps drive change. Go visit TogetherWeAreStrong.com.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek, located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us, what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases?
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers, with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Hey, Mark's here. We want people should know about the new Italian radio show on KMET. Like my Uncle Vinny used to say, Gumbas non stunad.
SID, there is no such words in Italian.
Forget about it. Tell them about the show.
The Italian radio show, presented by West Coast Italian Radio.
Mondays at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490, or stream us live 24/7 from our website at WCIR.biz.
Make sure to tune in.
You don't want them, we should have to tell you twice.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Vermont is in the house. Hello, Vermont, with Paul Cassidy tuning in. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. Jesse Jacobson tuning in as well. We know you are awesome. Good job. Stephanie Reed says, the only reason I got the Johnson & Johnson shot is because I had to get the dentist for a root canal on an abscess tooth, and was not comfortable on getting or going to the dentist without being vaccinated. You know what? Good job. That makes sense, right? You don't want complications in the end. And everybody got a different shot. You know, those that are listening are going, what? Moderna? Yeah, there's a lot of research being done about Moderna. Well, remember the when people were getting Moderna, they had the 2-shot thing, right? You had to get it, then you had to kind of wait, then you had to get the second dose, right? The news as of late, if you kind of research it, is, well, go back to the swelling of lymph nodes. When swelling of lymph nodes occurs, and or you have flu-like symptoms for like 3, 4, 5, 6 days, which a lot of people had, that means you already have an allergy to the vaccine. So if you had that, make note of it, remember it, and then make sure you kind of, you know, if there's anything that comes up that's suspicious in the next 3 to 4 months, you understand what happens to biology when you get some things in your body. It's just your body just doesn't handle things always the best way that you think it will. So those are things that people always have to kind of manage. And then, you know, I'm sure like certain ones will be like, well, we, you know, it's emergency use authorization, had to, you know, we didn't have any other choice within the next year and a half when you see a lot of lawsuits against certain vaccines. And I'm sure people will figure it out, even though they kind of figure out how to kind of circumvent it, but it's still going to happen, right? I mean, it just happens with any medication when you think about it. That's why you want to keep a record of medications that you've taken at any given time. Then you see those commercials on television or on lately social media. Have you been taking this one? You know, it was an allergy pill and it caused diabetes all of a sudden. Or you're like, oh, well, no wonder I got that. Yeah, I thought it was my eating habits. So there you go. You get it, Jesse? What do you think, Jesse?
No, that's the exact same thing I said when they first came out with this vaccine. I said, I swear, if 10 years down the line, if I see a commercial that says, oh, if you took the Moderna vaccine or the Pfizer vaccine, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen regardless with a percentage of people. Whenever you take a big percentage of anything, you have to allocate for biology. All right, everybody's different. Some people skew in a different direction with their blood type. Some people skew a different type with a host of factors, whether they're male, female, and or children, and or older adults. Okay, so they account for this usually in the financials. It's not that they don't have money. It's just they account for loss. You know what I mean? Any drug out there accounts for loss now. They started that, I think, in the late 60s and 70s when a lot of lawsuits came out about certain medications that were out. I mean, look at Tylenol. You know, aspirin, you know, look at all the things that we took kind of for granted. Now they're like, well, now they could be harmful to this, that, and the other. So you're like, so you just have to be aware of it. That's all. I don't say be scared of it. Just be aware of it. Judy's tuning in from Walla Walla, Washington. All right, Judy, we love you over there and all of your family members. We appreciate you. Genia says, I feel better, folks, after the booster. And I would say probably the fall version of it. Because I know the next one's coming out, which I do recommend for people to get against But remember, it's 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, because those are brand new. So that one will be coming out from Pfizer. They've been working on that since November, and then they made the news in December. And I mentioned to my mom, that one I need you to get. So, yeah, so we're planning ahead of time. So I like to share that information. But we all take our own lives kind of in our own hands. I've had people very close to me get coronavirus multiple times, all different types, because they live at home with their family, right? And anytime you live at home with your family, if you have certain ones go out and party with a bunch of people that do not care, right? And just do not practice even washing their hands, right? I mean, I know that grosses you out, Jesse, but, right? Like, there's some people you just... If you go to the restroom with them and they don't wash their hands, you kind of know where they're going later, right?
Right. I mean, this is basic hygiene. Wash your hands, dang it.
But I
wash my hands. I know where they go.
I can see it to the point that our country is in this situation. I won't say the whole country. I'll say a good margin of people. When you say mandatory wash your hands, there are going to be people being like, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, it's like anything. It's like... What's wrong with you people, you know? So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. This happened recently. French President Emmanuel Macron has told reporters that the President Putin assured him that Russian forces would not ramp up the crises near Ukraine's borders. He said before meeting Ukraine's leader, he says, I secured an assurance there would be no deterioration or escalation. Russia said any suggestion of a guarantee was not right. In other words, just hold up, man. There's still things looming. I know you want a, hey, ceasefire moment, and you want to be the one to do it. I get that. And if it happens that way, I will say good job, Emmanuel, right? As a French president. Russia has denied any plans to invade Ukraine, even though they're right there on the border. It's like kind of like, hello, we kind of see your ships there. It's assembled more than 100,000 troops near its borders. I would say probably 180,000 to probably 300,000, most likely. U.S. officials believe Russia has assembled 70% of military forces needed for a full-scale invasion. I believe it's more like 30%, technically. I think they're over-amplifying this on the side of the U.S. It's still a lot, though, because you don't have to do a lot like you used to have to do back in the day of World War II. You know what I mean? We're at the point where machines do things for others. You know what I mean? So you got drones, right? You got flying machines that could be kind of with somebody, just remote controlling it. You don't need a lot to carry out World War III. You just don't. That's why I say World War III doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to start. We don't need to do that to our world because, people forget, fallout occurs, and then people get destroyed. People get scared, and then you're like, who started this mess? So I don't want to be at the beginning of this mess and say, oh, hey, all right, we're all right with it. We're not all right with it. We want to stop it. We do not need it to start because, unfortunately, with war, when war starts, it usually takes 3 to 4 years to stop it in the end. And it usually has to go massive. If you look at World War I, you look at World War II, how many people had to suffer and or die until it finally said, okay, ceasefire, we're going to sign treaties. You know what I mean? Why don't you sign treaties ahead of time? Like, what is that show? What was it? War Games or something where you like kind of, there's certain things that they go, okay, if they do this, they do this, they do this. They put it into like I don't want to call it AI, but they call it like, what do they call it, Jesse?
What, like a simulation?
Yeah, simulators. Yeah, they do that for global climate. They do that for, if you look at the volcanoes, you put that into simulations. You put them into simulations, you'll discover we're really just doing ourselves in. That kind of is the one with, what was it, with Broderick? And it was like there was a no-win situation until he said, what was it? Oh, I don't want to give that away for people that want to see it now. Remember? Do you remember the end or not really?
For what movie? War Games?
That was War Games, huh? Yeah.
There was like where you like to play a game for nuclear annihilation or something like that.
Yeah, then he was smart. He put 0. He says, no, I don't want to play the game. And then
exactly.
he had the computer do it, and then it did it. And then at the very end, it showed there was a no-win situation. That's how it's just there's a no-win situation when it comes to that. So there you go. Rosalie tuning in from Downey says good morning, running in late. She's working hard with getting people the health insurance that they need. But yeah, the tensions between Russia, Ukraine, and the West, or us, come 8 years after Russia annexed Ukraine's southern Crimea Peninsula and backed a rebellion in the eastern Donbass region. Moscow accuses the Ukrainian government of failing to implement the Minsk Agreement, an international deal sponsored by Germany and France to restore peace to the east, where Russian-backed rebels control swaths of territory, and at least 40,000 people have been killed since 2014. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there, but if we get pulled into this, I can say this right now, it's not going to go good. It's just not. We're not ready for war. We don't want to be ready for war. We want to be able to defend, right? That makes sense. But we don't want war. Not at this time. This is one of those things where I think my mom was saying people from Ukraine are fleeing to Poland. But if they invade Ukraine, then they're going to invade Poland. They're just going to go everywhere west. And right now, this is just not the time to do it. I would understand if I were a man who wanted more power. I'd understand doing it, but not during coronavirus because your numbers are already dismal, right? Not during the dead of winter. Already, you're.
That's the best time.
Huh?
That's the best time.
Yeah, exactly.
In the dead of winter because no one's expecting it.
Yeah.
Everything's frozen over. Your tanks can go. Oh wait, is that now? Or oh god, if it happens during the Olympics, I'm just gonna freak out.
Well, that's what they say. They're theorizing he's not going to invade during the Olympics. So are the Olympics the thing to save us? I don't know. I hope he's a watcher. Like, can we not invade? Can we just watch our team win? Maybe the team needs to win in order for.
No, I don't think we need to give them the win. I'd be like, no, we don't give them a participation medal. No, but if anything, that's pretty creepy. I'd be like, if it happens after the Olympics, okay. But if it happens during, I was like, dang, that's disrespectful.
Right? I know. I don't think I mean, now that you're thinking of it that way, everybody's, I don't know. We'll see. I can see him still invading though because Russia lost. And then it's like, come on, don't be a sore loser. You know, be like, Vladimir, what's wrong with you, man? You know,
right? God, we lost to curling. Invade Ukraine.
Well, and Russia, I mean, and when it comes to sports, they are no joke. Nope. You know, Russia has beaten the U.S. down so many times in sports because they're so committed. Those guys are no joke. If you look at Russia's wins over the U.S., usually it's Russia over the U.S. It's very rare that the U.S. ever wins. I think when there was a movie with Kurt Russell, and I did the research, and I was like, when it comes to hockey, right? And hockey, the Russians are very committed. But there was one year that it stars Kurt Russell. It's a really good movie if you get to see it, where he had his team built, and he knew what he was up against, and did they win? Did they not win? I don't know. You got to go check it out. It's a really good movie with Kurt Russell and some other good people.
It's called Miracle.
Miracle. There it is. Yeah, but Russia's they're strong. They're very strong. Rosalie says she's in Fresno right now. That's right. She's working in Fresno. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break. Oscars. Who got nominated? Who should win? What have you seen? What have you not seen? I wish Spider-Man would be on that list, Jesse. That was one of the best movies of the year, hands down. If you have not seen that, go see it. Right, Jesse?
It was a fun movie. It was a fun, but it's just like, I don't think we'll ever see a Marvel movie in the Best Pictures category. As much as I would love it, I don't see it.
Not true. You forgot one.
Which one?
Wakanda.
Did that one make Best Picture?
I think it did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it did actually. Didn't it?
Was it nominated? I don't.
It was the first one that I think that got nominated. I think.
Okay, I have to look into that.
Or at least he won for Best Actor. You know, I don't remember, but I remember it was the first Marvel movie. We go, all right, good job. All right, people, we're gonna take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
KMET AM 1490 presents Cal State San Bernardino basketball. This Thursday night, February 10th at 7:30, the Coyotes meet Cal State San Marcos in a CCAA conference game. Live from the Sports Center in San Marcos, I'm Mitch McClellan. Join me as the Coyotes meet the Cougars. Cal State San Bernardino basketball broadcasts are brought to you by Dignity Health, Hatfield Buick GMC, Raising Cane's, Penny Law, and the Hyatt Place Hotel, Ontario Mills. That's Cal State San Bernardino basketball action live from San Marcos this Thursday night at 7:30 on your exclusive radio home for Coyote basketball, KMET AM 1490.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. Got Jesse Sanchez over there. Did you do the research on Black Panther?
Actually, yeah, you were right. It was nominated for Best Picture in the Oscars, and it's won a couple awards from the Academy Awards for like Best Costume and stuff like that. So even still being nominated for Best Picture is freaking amazing.
Yeah. It reminds me of like Lord of the Rings. Remember Lord of the Rings as like a fantasy was nominated and then it won? I don't know who else it was up against, but I remember it made me go, okay, so adventure films or action films can be nominated. I love that. You know what I mean? But I think that was after they kind of skewed in a certain direction of like, hey, don't snub us as African Americans. And all of a sudden they give that, kind of nomination. So I say good, you set a precedent, but keep it more, and I hate to say this, but people are going to be mad at me, but keep it younger, man. Keep it the stuff that we actually watch as like a younger generation. And I hate to say that, but some of these movies are kind of like, I'm just going to say it, boring. You know what I mean? Like, I've given them a chance. I'm like, oh, this is like for like...
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, some of them are like 80, 90-year-old like movies. Or like, I've sat in these and I go, who wants to watch this? And I look around, I go, okay, I don't know why I'm here. But anyway, that's where people got upset because a lot of the judging committee are older than not, right? So you have to mix it up. And I remember that was the big problem as of 3 years ago, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, where a lot of people were upset about the Oscars, kind of snubby. And then Will Smith's wife, Jada, kind of came up front and kind of made it a situation. She's like, hey, he totally should have been nominated. What's wrong with you guys? And she called it to the carpet. Then there's this whole thing, and then it was kind of back and forth. But evidently the Golden Globes kind of came and went. I didn't even know that, Jesse. So I was like, I think they were too early because they're supposed to happen like in February. Because usually I'm always like, how can I get front row and center? I have yet to cover the Golden Globes. I'm not going to lie. But, okay, so nominees. All right. Actually, I'm going to go to Golden Globes first, okay? Because this is a good... They usually... How do I say this? Sometimes they agree, and sometimes they disagree with the Oscar list, okay? I'll give you an example. Let's see. And they televise it in a really limited way, which is why everybody kind of missed it. Let's see. Okay, in film. Best Motion Picture in the musical or comedy, Cyrano... Don't Look Up, Licorice Pizza, Tick, Tick, Boom, West Side Story. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to see West Side Story because I think it's a Steven Spielberg film, right?
It actually is a Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah, so I kind of want to see that for that reason. Which do you think won, Jesse?
Wait, say the list again, because the only name I recognize is Don't Look Up, so that's the only one I've seen.
Oh, I didn't even realize I said that. Yeah, okay. But I don't know why they put it in musical or comedy. It's
considered a comedy.
Okay, got it. Okay. Like dark humor or stuff like that?
Yeah,
okay.
I guess.
I remember when Martian was nominated, and I was like, really? Okay, Cyrano, Don't Look Up. That's the asteroid movie for those of you at home. Licorice Pizza, Tick, Tick, Boom, West Side Story.
Ooh, the only one I've seen is Don't Look Up. But I've heard a lot of good things about Tick, Tick, Boom, so I'm going to go with that one.
West Side Story won.
Dang it.
It's okay. I mean, it's not like you voted. I think you would have voted for probably Don't Look Up. Right?
It's the only one I've seen. So
yeah, I know. Man, I haven't seen any of those actually. Best motion picture in a drama. Okay, Belfast, Coda, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog.
Ooh, okay. So I've seen Dune, good movie. I've actually seen Belfast. Yeah, that was a good movie too. So it's kind of, I'm gonna go with the movie I've never heard or seen, Power of the Dog.
Ding 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 ding. You got it, actually. Yeah, I just think it has the dog name in it. Sounds good. No, I haven't seen it. Efren Guzman tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. He's got his own blog talk radio as well that he does. So pretty good job. Okay, best motion picture in actually this one you're probably not even gonna know because it's a foreign language. Nobody knows foreign language, sadly. Although some of the foreign language are really good, by the way. But yeah. Okay, let me go to okay, best actor in a supporting role. We know these names mostly. Ben Affleck for The Tender Bar, Jamie Dornan for Belfast, Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, and Cody Smith McPhee for The Power of the Dog.
I'm gonna go with that last one, Cody something for the dog.
Ding 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 ding. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Beat out Ben Affleck. That's the only name I recognize. Best actress in a supporting role in any motion picture. Again, actress. Catriona. That's a hard name. Catriona Balfe for Belfast. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog. Anjanou Ellis for King Richard, and Ruth Negga for Passing.
Ooh, let me go with that second name.
By the way, Negga is Negga. I'm not. Yeah.
No, I know who you're talking about. I actually like her as an actress.
Okay.
She's done some really good stuff.
Okay, I'm like, I didn't say anything bad, people. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Good job.
Right.
Good job.
Right.
Yeah,
Dude. Right.
Okay. Here's one that you might recognize. In the best actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy, Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up, which I'm not gonna lie, I saw the trailer. He looks definitely right. Like what were you gonna say?
Okay, so the first time I saw him in that movie, I'm like, oh my god, I wanted to attack him with some clippers. I do not like that beard. He does not look good with that beard on. I'm like, oh my god, take it off.
I saw it. I go, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, what happened there? But I feel he really kind of got into the character of it all, right? So I'm glad he at least got.
It was a fun movie. It was interesting. It makes you think quite a bit, and it reflects on our real life stuff. So give it a watch.
Well, it's kind of why I want it to win. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's been nominated for an Oscar. We'll get back to that. So Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up, Peter Dinklage for Cyrano, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom, Cooper Hoffman for Licorice Pizza, and Anthony Ramos in The Heights, who won in the Golden Globe category.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to go with Licorice Pizza.
Cooper Hoffman, no. Andrew Garfield actually won for that, which again, he did a great comeback. I think we can say it now in Spider-Man. Come on. That was, seriously. Okay, and then this one. I always like this one. Best Motion Picture Animated. These were the nominees. Encanto, Flea, okay, Luca. You like Encanto? Okay. Luca, My Sunny Mad, or M-A-A-D, Mad, Raya, and The Last Dragon. Of those, which do you think won? Jesse?
I'm going to go with Encanto.
Ding, 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 ding. You got it 100% right. Good job. Okay, so you got those right. So good job. So here we go. These are the ones nominated in the Oscar categories. For Best Picture, Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. That's a lot of nominees for Best Picture, Jesse. I've never seen that many.
Right? Usually it's like, what, 6?
Yeah, this is like...
That's a lot of choices. I
10,
don't even know what to say. Yeah,
they went with 10 options. So, you know what? Good. I mean, it gets you to kind of... At least they got some popular ones in there. I'm actually okay with that, right?
Right. It's got a wide variety of films from like Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, Nightmare Alley.
I don't see Dune winning Best Picture.
No, I don't see that winning either. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And I don't see it winning Best Picture at all.
Yeah, cinematography at its finest. I think everybody will agree with. But as Best Picture, all right. Best Actress: The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Jessica Chastain. The Lost Daughter, Olivia Colman. Parallel Mothers. Not gonna lie, I want to see this lady win just because she's so cute. Penelope Cruz, Being the Ricardos, Nicole Kidman. Not gonna lie, I've heard nothing good about this film, so but I love Nicole. She's awesome. Yeah, Spencer, Kristen Stewart. Okay, isn't it Kristen Stewart? Is it Kristen? Did she revert it?
Kirsten. I don't know.
They spell maybe I'm thinking the wrong. Isn't it Kristen? Let's see. I don't know. I just saw a thing. Oh, it's Kristen Stewart. Oh, okay. I don't know why I always call her Kristen Stewart. I don't know. All right, whatever. Best Actor in the Best Actor category, Being the Ricardos, Javier Bardem. Totally doesn't remind me of Ricky Ricardo, but whatever. The Power of the Dog, Benedict Cumberbatch. We all like Benedict, Mr. What does he do with the
You talk about Doctor Strange?
Yeah, why can't that get nominated? Let's see. Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom. Will Smith for King Richard. And Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth, which, not going to lie, that's a very, very difficult one. I haven't seen any of those. I'm already kind of skewed. Oh, man, that's a good category of guys. I would go... Well, I haven't seen The Power of the Dog. I think between Benedict... Andrew, because he won the Golden Globe. Will Smith and Denzel Washington. I don't know that Javier has a chance in Being the Ricardos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you on this. You got 5 amazing actors.
Yeah.
All is in their own right, but I don't know about Being the Ricardos. But you know what? I got to see this movie, The Power of the Dog. I keep hearing it. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that it's not about a dog, and I'm going to get switched up, because I always take the names literally every time.
I think that's how they got you. But yeah, I think now I want to see that, right? Best Supporting Actress, Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for The West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis for King Richard. So those are the nominees there. Again, Being the Ricardos got it. I am going to be very, very, very clear on this. And some people are very upset by this. And I think you'll agree with me, Jesse. I don't know why Lady Gaga hasn't been nominated. Just saying.
Oh, right, for the Gucci movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it just even just the clips I've seen, it's amazing. I honestly didn't even know it was her.
Yeah, and I will say, I think somebody either didn't turn in their recommendation, but there you go. Oh, look at this. Best Visual Effects, Spider-Man No Way Home did get a nomination. Good job. All right. Well, we got to go, people. You tabulate which ones you think are awesome. Eugenia says some beards look so nasty, not well maintained. One must have a classic man beard, not like Father Time. We appreciate you more than you know. Make it a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same channel. Bye-bye, everyone. And for the rest of you tuning in, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Sorry if you hear the blower outside. It seems like they're getting worse. Anyway, look. Whatever ends up happening with the Oscars and the world, we have to be ahead of it, okay? I'm just going to say this right now. If you look at the research of volcanoes, we've never had so many volcanic eruptions at any given time. That is a precedent which we do not want to ever overachieve on. If we hit, right now I think we're at 53 active volcanoes. If we hit anywhere from 60 to 63 active volcanoes, we need to start saving up for food. We need to start saving up for anything and everything, okay? This is going to create... let me back up by saying that. This is already creating a problem in the Earth's atmosphere, okay? when you have that many volcanoes active at any given time, including the Russia one that just erupted, Indonesia has a huge one. These aren't small eruptions. These are huge. I know people are used to, like, you know, Hawaii and certain places around the world. The big one that came out of I can't remember that island, but the one that exploded crazy and then created like a tsunami over here and in closer areas. These are the things that are happening that I say go inland, do not live on the coast, especially at sea level, because a lot of countries are starting to see their own areas get way too many tsunamis. Okay, now having said that, I almost want to say we're on the brink, but we're way past the brink for our world. The amount of volcanic ash spewed into our atmosphere needs to be analyzed. It just needs to be. We've got glaciers in the southern pole and even the northern that they haven't looked at, that they're watching very, very closely, because if those dip into the water sea level is going to rise anywhere from 3 to 4 feet already. All right, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is if you're at sea level. It's a lot. That's why coastal areas like Florida, areas even here in California that are at sea level will be, water will come inland. Okay, if you live on the coast and you're at sea level, I say live above anywhere from 15 to 20 feet. That's if there's no tsunami. Now, having said that, if another glacier goes into the water within the next 3 to 4 years, then we're at 6 feet. Okay, 6 feet is the height of a person. And, I mean, basically, that's half a story. Okay, you get where I'm going with this? Don't be at sea level. Now, having said that, anything can and will happen if something hits the ocean. Okay, so currently they're talking about dumping the International Space Station into the ocean. I'm like, why would you do that? Okay, that makes no sense, but all right. If anything, drifted off into outer space. They let a missile, hit the moon soon. So I don't know. I don't agree with them just crashing into the water. I mean, we don't need anything coming crashing into the water, creating a potential tidal wave. But having said that, with the amount of volcanoes that are out there right now, we have way too many to start thinking, oh, pollution is not really a thing. Now, we may not see it. All right, we may not see it like as in smog. We may not see it as in, oh, my eyes hurt. We may not see that because that's more man-made. This is in the upper atmosphere, which is really bad for us because the Earth has a way of shifting all of a sudden. Now, it's already been shifting over the last 3 years, right? We've seen more tornadoes, more hurricanes, more bombo blasts, more, what do they call it? Something Genesis, geogenesis. I don't know, whatever that was called. So many disasters affecting others that it is all adding up to one very big moment in time, and it's called, how are we going to survive? Okay, nobody's thinking of the world's earth supply of food. If you have a cold front, which is already occurring now in much of the states, I know everybody's thinking, oh, June, July, August, yay. But if you're a farmer or you're somebody that grows crops, you live and or die by crops. Financially, right? Because you have the money there invested, but all of a sudden it comes in, you can't harvest it. Well, that's where we're at right now. Okay, are we going to have a late summer harvest? The answer is no. Not at the rate that we're going. The Earth is already going through a cold shift now. This is why I said, I think of it last week, if you watch the science and you talk to people about cold fronts and or the Earth shifting for a cold, then you'll understand everything. Do not get bought up into what I call, this is the part where people kind of, their minds have to get shifted in the right way. That's why I say watch the day after tomorrow. When people hear global warming, they think, oh, it's going to warm up so much. The problem with warming up so much is the Earth does readjust itself. And when it readjusts itself, it's a very delicate balance, but it readjusts itself by making it cold. Thus the Ice Age of centuries past. Back to dinosaurs, which were caught in a all of a sudden cold blizzard, many of which just had food and they were like frozen all of a sudden. these things have and been done on this earth, which is what happens after volcanic eruptions occur. Not going to lie, I never considered it until I did the math and the science of it all about what started in the beginning. And we're almost back to square one. They say history has a way of repeating itself. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be as dismal as the end of the day after tomorrow, but it is a slow churning to that within the next 3 to 4 years. If we get ahead of it, we can get ahead of it by planting more trees in Africa. If you do that, you have a good landmass to be able to kind of filter the rest of the carbon in the Earth's atmosphere. When you have that much carbon, you're still going to have oxygen to breathe. There's the amount of people dying offsets that. We'd have to have, like, honestly, 180, well, anywhere from like 100 to 600 trillion humans to be at a point where we're like, do we have enough oxygen? We don't have that many. Okay, we have a billion, right? We actually had 8.3 to 8.6 billion guesstimates as of just a year and a half ago. But now we're down to 6. We're coming down to 7.3 soon. We're almost at 1 million dead here in the U.S. Because of coronavirus. The numbers are just, we're losing. Okay, we're losing. We're losing our friends. We're losing our family. We're losing everyone that matters to us. We're losing. Okay, let's not lose our earth in the way of it, right? So to those that are raising financials, I say, why are you doing that when we can barely bury our dead loved ones, when we can barely grieve, when we can barely make ends meet eventually? Now, having food as a situation. Now, I'm not saying we're all going to be like without food, right? There's ways to plant your own crops. There are people already doing it on the inside of warehouses. I say do more of that. Bring them on the inside. Give farmers the ability to do that, because they're going to need to start doing that within the next 3 to 4 years, because it's going to be more colder than not. It's not as extreme here in California, but it's coming, okay? Those that have even wine supplies, not too bad, so sad. Your wine is going to be less. All right, so we have plenty of wine for days. Whether they raise the money or not, whatever. You there's nobody gonna say I can only live on wine, right? But there are certain types of foods that just will not make it. Okay, now, will fishing industry survive? Yes. Will meat industry survive? Yes. Will certain agricultures survive? No. Okay? As I'm saying, be aware of it. Be ahead of it. Be good with knowing. Be all right with less. If you can be all right with less now, you'll be ahead of it within the next 4 to 8 years. Okay? Global shift has come. It's here. And we're experiencing it. But here in California, when we see the nice sunny sun and we get to be on the beaches and we get to just relax and then you look at world news on your phone and you go, what the heck? All right, we're going to see more disasters. We're going to see more things. We're going to see more. We do not need war from Russia. We do not need war from any other country right here, right now. We as a species, as the human species, need to take care of the rest of the earth, period, end of story. And we need to take care of it now. We need to invest in our future. We need to invest in the people. We need to invest in the education of people. We need to get more doctors, more nurses, more personnel, more people that can keep us safe during any virus. Coronavirus isn't the only virus here. We have heart disease, we have cancer, we have so many other problems. We need smart people on the forefront. But what's happening on the home front? What's happening on the home front right now and around the world is doctors are suffering. Nurses are suffering. They are put to the brink of their capabilities, and they're not getting compensated properly. They're getting harmed by saying, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that. Just stay alive. That's what I say. Just stay alive. All right. Stephanie Reed says, I know we have had earthquakes in Eastlake, Ohio. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and they're watching St. Mount Helens. St. Mount Helens is one of concern because they're watching it may erupt here on the home front. Yeah, if that one erupts, I guarantee you we already have a problem, with our Earth's crust. Let's see. Algenia says, perceive the danger, make preparations for the worst. Have a boat ready and floating devices, military-grade floating devices for your family is just common sense. Grow your own. Yeah, and you know what? If you were in an area, for example, I saw a guy, I don't remember what country he was in, but he was off on his jet ski. I was like, you know what? That's the best thing to have if you have it, right? But if you're in an area where you're already kind of there, invest in a floaty, right? You know, just invest in it. It's sad but true. So these are the things that were sci-fi, earth-shattering stuff as of like 20, 30 years ago that we would talk about. But as certain movies kind of make sense, Day After Tomorrow makes sense. The end part doesn't happen in 7 days. Within 3 to 4 years of length of time, it can eventually get to that, especially in northern states. So make preparations now. All right, people, make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember life is worth living. Live it well. But people, bye-bye.